From Washington, this is VOA News. Ukrainians welcome the former Prime Minister. The United Nations passes a unanimous resolution on humanitarian rights in Syria. I'm Vincent Bruce, reporting from Washington. Ukrainians gave newly freed opposition leader and former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko a hero's welcome when she spoke to protesters in Kyiv Saturday. She urged the crowds to continue their demonstrations as part of a deal to end weeks of violence. Tymoshenko was freed from a prison hospital where she had been serving time for abuse of power, a charge her supporters say was political revenge by President Viktor Yanukovych. She spoke to the crowd in Kyiv's Independence Square from a wheelchair because of severe back pain. Tymoshenko called the protesters heroes and the best of Ukraine. She told the demonstrators they should bring Yanukovych to Kyiv. She implored them not to give up their demonstration. Earlier Saturday, Ukraine's parliament voted to dismiss President Yanukovych and set early elections for May 25th. More details on this story at voanews.com. The UN Security Council has unanimously adopted a resolution on Syria's humanitarian crisis, demanding that both sides in the conflict provide immediate access to deliver essential aid to millions of people in desperate need. The 15-member council united on Syria for the first time Saturday. Russia and China, which have shielded Syria's government throughout the country's 3-year-long civil war, voted in favor of the resolution. Saturday's vote does not threaten sanctions. Russia insisted that that reference be dropped from the original Western and Arab-backed text, but it does express the Council's intent to take further steps in the case of noncompliance. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon.
This resolution should not have been necessary. Humanitarian assistance is not something to be negotiated. It is something to be allowed by virtue of international law.
The resolution demands immediate cross-border aid access and condemns rights abuses by the Syrian government and armed opposition groups. The world's most wanted drug lord, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, is behind bars after Mexican and U.S. agents captured him Saturday at a hotel in the Mexican resort of Mazatlan. Agents had been tracking Guzman for weeks after Mexican police arrested top members of his Sinaloa drug cartel. Italian center-left leader Matteo Renzi has taken office as his country's youngest prime minister. Renzi, the former mayor of Florence, promises a new era of stable government after forcing out his predecessor over the slow pace of economic reforms. Renzi named a low-profile list of ministers with a mix of politicians and technocrats that includes no figures capable of challenging his control. Pope Francis installed 19 prelates into the College of Cardinals Saturday, with several coming from South America, Asia, and Africa.
Grazie, fratelli carissimi.
The new princes of the church will receive gold rings and scarlet three-cornered caps known as red birrettas at St. Peter's Basilica. Ghibli Langoy, the church's first cardinal from Haiti, also spoke. He said the event was a new way of announcing the gospel. The new church means announcing the gospel in a different way so that joy can awaken the hearts of men and bring conversion to all people. Leaders of a new U.S. organization say it will combat what they call a global lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender agenda. Scott Lively of Defend the Family International unveiled the Coalition for Family Values at the National Press Club in Washington. Mariama Diallo reports.
Scott Lively says the Coalition for Family Values wants what it calls, quote, family-friendly nations, unquote, to block efforts to end discrimination against gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and transgender people.
The LGBT agenda has already gone too far, but it is still advancing.
At Friday's news conference in Washington, he said about 70 anti-gay activists and religious leaders from the United States, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, and Brazil have so far joined the coalition. In Washington, Mariama Diallo, VOA News.
Russia won 2 gold medals and a bronze Saturday at the Sochi Olympics as the host nation took the lead in total medals heading into the last day of competition. All these stories and more at voanews.com 24 hours a day. I'm Vincent Bruce, VOA News, reporting from Washington.